Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. I am doing really well. And coming up, we have a guest this weekend. We have Matt Paulson, who I've actually met him in person numerous times, and he is an author of a bunch of different books. And I'm super excited to visit with Matt about his books and about entrepreneurship and other fun stuff. So that is all coming up on this weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show. You ready for some quotes?
Sure.
All right. I got a lot of stuff. I got to scroll all the way up here. We'll do the Saturday quote first. Saturday quote says, "Today is the only day. Yesterday is gone." John Wooden said that. And then the Sunday quote is, "A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving." Lao Tzu said that. So that is kind of
I kind
like
of
me.
agree with having no fixed plans when you travel.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that too. We kind of go places and just end up where we end up. And
Yeah,
then
I like that.
If we have an itinerary, we're never on schedule anyway. So let's just go and have fun. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
There are monthly subscriptions for razors and coffee and many other things, but this is the best monthly subscription ever. Ladies, listen up. Odiva has a monthly subscription for your monthly visitor. You know it's going to happen every month, and how many times have you been caught off guard? Odiva will send you a box discreetly each month with the products you want, with plans starting at less than $4 a month. Get a special offer right now at radiosavings.com, helping women prepare for their monthly visitor for less. Try it now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, the 24th of March, is National Chocolate-Covered Raisin Day. I like raisins and I like chocolate. Never been a huge fan of the two of them together.
Agreed.
I mean, I've never, it's not that they're bad that way, because I've had them. I'm like, it's okay. I just never went out of my way to get them.
Agreed.
March the 25th, Sunday, National Lobster Newburg Day. Have you ever had lobster Newburg?
I have not.
Have you ever had lobster Oldberg? No?
No.
I don't know that that's
I'm not
thing.
a huge fan of lobster.
I don't. It's okay. There's probably some people right now that are gonna quit listening to you now. Like, oh, she don't like lobster.
It tastes like butter.
What is
Just
wrong
eat
with this
a
woman?
stick of margarine and save yourself
Stop.
a ton of money.
Sunday is also National Medal of Honor Day and Tolkien Reading Day. National Tolkien, like the author, Tolkien Reading Day, Sunday. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. Celebrate however you wish.
John and Heidi.
Sadly, more than 350 million people suffer from depression. Scientifically, your actual brain chemistry levels are affected. Now a breakthrough, safe and natural, non-prescription coffee product has been shown to help. It elevates levels of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins in the brain, which makes you happier. Just by drinking this special cup of coffee, many reported elevated mood, feeling more connected, having greater energy, clarity, and focus. Try it for yourself at firstcupisfree.com. Get a free sample at firstcupisfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs, but first, take a listen to this. A woman stopped from taking her open jug of sweet wine on a train in China, did the only sensible thing, and chugged as much as she possibly could. She drank half the jug, about a quart and a half, in one chug, just... Ma'am, you can't bring that on the train. She's like, well, I need to get on the train. Well, you can't bring that. You're going to have to leave it. She's like, I ain't leaving this. This is my wine. It's my jam. So she chugged it.
I didn't realize that I had relatives in China.
I could absolutely see Heidi do that, by the way. I've seen her do that when we're like at a restaurant where they start you at the bar because the place is busy, and then now we're going to move back there, and she don't want to carry that drink, so she's just... It's like, I'll get a new one back there.
I'm a classy broad.
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
classy broad.
Yeah. She's my wife, and I love her. I do. We've got your brain on drugs coming up.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. Former Star Trek Voyager actress was arrested. Jennifer Lean played medical assistant Cass in the first 3 seasons of Star Trek Voyager. arrested for driving on a revoked license about 2 weeks after she was arrested on the same charge. Says here that she had a traffic stop, no visible tags. After the initiation of all of that, she was not able to produce her license or proof of insurance. She was arrested for a computer check showing that she had her license revoked for a DUI. She was arrested on March 2nd, so it was earlier this month, for the same charge. The resident and former actress was arrested in 2015 for indecent exposure, and she was charged with 2 counts of exposing herself to children under the age of 13. Later, had the charges dismissed after paying restitution. So, not having the greatest luck of any kind. Don't drink and drive is the moral of the story. And I know that all this other stuff wasn't really tied to that, and I just saw the DUI, and I guess that's how I put that in this category. This probably could have ended up somewhere else. But either way, it is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Indiana Jones, another movie in the works, Heidi. You a big fan of Harrison Ford?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I knew that. You think he's dreamy, even though he's like 97. You think
He is
he's
absolutely hot.
He's a good-looking dude. And here's the thing. He's very shy, which is amazing to me. But he is going to be in Indiana Jones 5. The filming starts next April, so not next month, but next April, a year from next month. And it's set for a July of 2020 release date. The film will have Steven Spielberg teaming up once again with Harrison Ford. Speaking of movies,
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean,
Why?
the last one that they did was absolutely
it wasn't great.
terrible.
We went to it at the drive-in theater, which was kind of not a good idea. So we were already not having a great experience because like there were people honking their horns and it was just not good. But it was not great. So
No.
it was like the alien thing.
I was
like,
really,
I don't get it.
I didn't
What's going
like the
on?
alien
It
thing.
was just weird. And speaking of movies, Black Panther is now the most tweeted about movie of all time. So
Really?
Yeah, the most tweeted about movie of all time. Coming up, we've got more fun stuff to get to. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
You can go to college without student loans. Do you have a kid in 11th or 12th grade or in college? Let me save you time, energy, and most importantly, your hard-earned money. My name is Matthew Einstone, and I earned my undergraduate degree from the University of Texas and my master's from Prescott College with no loans. And I was an all-around average student. Not only am I a living example, but I have 10 years of proven results, not guesswork. Take my first course for free that walks you through my journey by going to learnwithoutloans.com.
Now, your scoop of the day, courtesy of firstcupisfree.com. James Comey, are you going to read his book?
No.
His book is already, this is so bizarre to me, made the Amazon bestseller list, and it hasn't even gone on sale. How is that possible?
Pre-orders, I suppose.
The book is Truth, Lies, and Leadership, and apparently it must be pre-orders. I don't know. But it says it hasn't even gone on sale, so you would think that it's on sale now in pre-orders. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but it's a bestseller, and you can't even get it yet. Figure that one out. Traveling by airplane greatly increases our chances of getting sick, or so many of us think. The latest research from Emory University suggests that you're not more likely to get sick on a flight, but much of it depends on where you sit. The research let's try that again. The research suggests, easy for me to say, airline passengers infected with the flu, a disease that spreads through the air, are not likely to infect other passengers who sit more than 2 seats to the left or right, or more than 2 seats to the front or back. So they're saying if there's a sick person on the plane, unless you're sitting near them, you're going to be okay.
And if you're concerned about it, just travel with American Airlines because you won't even make it on the plane to begin with.
She had a bad experience last year and just won't drop it. Beyonce and Jay-Z, they've got a 5-year-old daughter by the name of Blue Ivy. She put in a $19,000 bid
little girl
at an art auction last weekend. A $19,000 bid? She must get much better allowance than I ever got, because I still don't have that kind of money to make a bid. I have to see if I can borrow some money from Blue Ivy. Undercover video filmed over the past year captured Cambridge Analytica executives admitting to extorting politicians, entrapping them with women, and helping their clients spread propaganda. That's not good. The video by Britain Channel 4 follows revelations that Cambridge Analytica harvested data on 50 million Facebook users and used it in an attempt to sway the 2016 presidential election. Facebook executives say Cambridge Analytica falsely claimed they deleted improperly obtained user data they received from a Russian-American researcher in 2015. So they're saying, liar, liar, pants on fire. That's not good. That's really bad. Hey, Nielsen did a survey, which they do those, Heidi. That's what Nielsen does.
Yes, I know.
By the way, hi, Nielsen. Just want to say hi. A survey found Fox News and MSNBC were the number 1 and number 2 cable networks last week, even though the NCAA tournament was going on. They said the news was still more important to most people than the March Madness. So that's kind of cool.
That's nice.
For those of you who like the news and stuff. And a survey by a cleaning supply company by the name of Lemmy Shine, which I think is kind of a cool name. It's Lemi, Lemmy Shine.
Okay.
They found 9 out of 10 people think that they have improved their partner during the course of their relationship. So, Heidi, how much better have you made me?
I think I've made you way better.
I think you have, too.
You're certainly more fun.
Have I made you more better, too?
Probably.
I think I have, honestly. Yeah. And I know I was being silly saying more better, but when I met you, you were a wreck. And
Wow.
I'm just kidding. You weren't really. No, when I met you, you were awesome, which is cool. And then she married me, and we've been together 18 years and counting. And I better quit saying dumb things like that, or the counting will stop. One last thing. University of Wisconsin is discussing the idea of eliminating degrees in English and history because they don't lead to a clear career path. If you're going to start chopping every single degree that doesn't lead to a career path, you're going to chop a lot of degrees. I've got friends with liberal arts degrees. What are you guys doing besides making coffee for people? And if you've got one of those and you got a great job, that's awesome. But they're the ones that started it. I was just bringing it up. We're going to move on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Radio really works. That's a pretty bold statement, but it's true. If you advertise on the radio the right way, you'll see results. I've said for years, advertising costs money, but effective advertising makes money. The only difference between spending money and making money is that one word, effective. Let us help you make your advertising more effective. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. We do radio jingles and creative ads to help you get better results with the money you're already spending. Hear examples at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a special guest. We have Matt Paulson. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you, John?
Very good. Matt is an entrepreneur. You've got a company called MarketBeat.com. Now, how long has MarketBeat been around? It's quite a while now, isn't it?
Yeah. So the company has existed since 2008. The business, we changed the name to MarketBeat.com in 2015. Nice. So we've had the name for about 3 years now, and it's just grown by leaps and bounds.
Now, the neat thing is, in addition to that, you've been writing books. You've got quite a few. How many books have you got out now?
I think there's 8 out now.
Holy cow, 8.
Yeah.
So the most recent, I guess the first one was 40 Rules for Internet Business Success. I've got a link to all of these so you'll be able to find them. But the most recent book, the recent one here, is the one on the top here, Online Business from Scratch.
Yep.
And what was the idea behind this? Is this kind of an idea to be able to help people start a company?
Yeah. I get a lot of people that approach me and say, Matt, I want to start a business on the internet in my free time. Maybe I'm a stay-at-home mom. I want to start a business on the side, something like that. And I just don't know how to get started. So I wrote Online Business to Scratch. It's kind of a soup to nuts. Here's how to identify what your category should be. Here's how to find your audience. Here's how to figure out what to sell them. Just kind of A through Z. Here's everything you need to do to get from I want to get started, I have no idea what I'm doing, to having a business that's generating revenue online. And
it's really cool that you did that and put those steps in place because a lot of the time people don't know where to start.
Absolutely.
So, I know you're a part of an angel fund group as well, and there are people that come to you guys saying, hey, we want money for this. If somebody shows up and says, hey, I want money, but I don't know where to start, they're probably not going to get the money, are they?
No. Investors typically don't invest in ideas. They invest in businesses that have customers and revenue, and it's like you have to get to that point before anyone will be willing to put money into your company to help grow it.
Absolutely. So when people are looking for help, it's nice to have the funds out there, all those different groups, venture capital groups, but money alone doesn't help. You got to have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, you can have a pile of money there that you're going to just burn through it.
Yeah, there's plenty of companies that would love to take investment money, but most of them aren't investable because they can't scale. They don't have it figured out. They don't know who their customers are. They don't have a product market fit yet, and you really need to have some of those basic things covered before you start to take on investor money.
So what would you say is the ideal scenario? I'm a fan of Shark Tank. I'll watch that. I'll see people come in, and as soon as they start talking on that rug, I'll say they're not getting a deal.
Sure.
So you can, I think a lot of people can tell right away. What would you say is the ideal scenario for somebody that if they are looking for an investor and they do want some help, what stage should they be in? Certainly not just, hey, Matt, I have this idea.
Yeah.
But how far along do you think they should be before they even look for help like that?
Yeah. On Shark Tank, you hear a lot that, the deal is too early.
Yeah.
Or it's sometimes they say it's too late, it's too established, it's not something they can add value to. Typically, you want to have whatever is the unique thing about your business that makes you separate from anyone else figured out, and you need to prove that is something that's successful. So, say you are. You've got a radio show. What makes you different than anyone else is that you're on all these different stations and can be any format, and you've got some customers. And then you have an opportunity to make it bigger, but you need money to do it. So when you're at that point where the only thing stopping me from growing to be 10 times the size I am is having $100,000 in investment capital to go out and buy the stuff I need to do it, that's the point when you go and talk to investors.
But not just when you say, I got a great name and I bought the website.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, that is not the stage to do it.
Again, Matt Paulson is our guest right now, and he is with MarketBeat.com. He's got a book called Online from Scratch, and it's a new book. When did this book come out?
That came out in, I think, January of 17, so it's been about a year now.
Okay.
And it's done really well on Amazon. It keeps staying in one of the bestseller categories.
That's awesome.
I mean, a lot of people are Amazon bestsellers, so that doesn't mean a whole lot, but clearly people are reading it and enjoying it.
And here's the thing. The thing that's nice, even better than being a bestseller, is being a book that people can use. They can actually read this and actually implement it and start a business. To me, that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's got action steps in every chapter, so you know exactly what you need to do to figure out, okay, what industry should I be in? What kind of product should I want to sell? What service do I want to sell? How do I find my first customers? It's not a workbook, but it's as close to being a workbook as you can get for something like this.
The thing that's really cool, I get a chance to talk to a lot of people, we've talked with a couple of the sharks from Shark Tank, since we talked about that in the program, but all the way down to people who have just a tiny itty bitty little tiny thing that nobody else has ever heard of yet. The thing that to me that's exciting is when people are passionate about what they do, and I think that's one of the things that I like about you. I can tell that you love helping people. You wouldn't have all of these books out if you didn't.
No, they definitely don't make a lot of money, so it's a passion project more than anything. Just I've got a lot of thoughts in my head, and I want to get them on paper so I can help as many people as I can.
Well, to me, passion is a very important thing. So, again, thank you for taking time to chat with us. The book, Online Business from Scratch, it's available right now through Amazon. We'll throw a link to make it really, really easy to find. And then any parting words for maybe a person who's listening that's been thinking, I've always wanted to start a business. And you're kind of giving them the ideas right here. Here's the guidelines. But any advice for them if they've got a cushy, comfy, cozy little job and they're trying to make the decision on whether or not they should quit and go do their own thing?
Sure.
Any good advice for them?
Yeah. I think one thing that holds people back is they think, other people can do it, but not me. I don't have the skills, or I just don't have what it takes. I really do think anybody that's willing to put in the work, willing to put in, say, 20 or 30 hours a week after their day job, into a business, I think anybody can make a go of it if you're willing to do the work, because all of the knowledge that you need is out there in books like this. And if you're willing to take the time to learn and apply that knowledge, you can have that successful business yourself.
Absolutely, and it's taken the time and putting in the effort. There are some people that just fall into things and it just instantly happens, but that's pretty rare. Usually, people who have done well, you don't see how much time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears went into that.
Yeah, most overnight successes are about 10 years in the making. MarketBeat, Inc. 5000 list every year, $3-4 million in revenue. This is a company that I started in 2007. That was 11 years ago in my dorm room in college. So it takes a long time to kind of build up a snowball of success and customers and revenue, and all that takes time. But if you're willing to just put in that consistent effort, there's no magic pill, there's no secret, no shortcut to success. But if you're willing to put in that work over a long period of time, you can have a similar level of success.
Absolutely. Matt, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks.
Again, Matt Paulson and his most recent book, Online Business from Scratch. We've got a link to it, the Amazon page where you can buy that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the year 1963, Major League Baseball pitcher Gaylord Perry remarked, "They'll put a man on the moon before I hit a home run." Well, on July 20th, 1969, an hour after Neil Armstrong set foot on the surface of the moon, guess who hit his first
that's funny.
and only home run while playing for the San Francisco Giants at the time?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that happened. He said it in 1963. Then it absolutely, positively, really happened in 1969. A few hours after one small step for man, one giant hit for Gaylord Perry from the San Francisco 49ers. That's not even the right sport. The San Francisco Giants. That's who it was at the time. All right. We are not sports people. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Retired basketball sensation Michael Jordan makes more money from Nike each year than all of the Nike factory workers in Malaysia combined.
Oh.
Yeah, so he does okay, and they don't. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Sadly, more than 350 million people suffer from depression. Scientifically, your actual brain chemistry levels are affected. Now a breakthrough, safe and natural, non-prescription coffee product has been shown to help. It elevates levels of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins in the brain, which makes you happier. Just by drinking this special cup of coffee, many reported elevated mood, feeling more connected, having greater energy, clarity, and focus. Try it for yourself at firstcupisfree.com. Get a free sample at firstcupisfree.com.
John and Heidi.
It is time right now for the grandiloquent word of the day. And we talked about, do you want to keep doing this? Because
I don't love this. This isn't my favorite thing.
So let's start spitballing what we would do. What would we
I would
replace
rather
this?
do the list that you
thing
did
that
the other day, like Florida or daycare or whatever, that thing.
You mean fake news or Florida, that one?
Yeah, and
Doing
then they
those?
have others that were like strip club or Florida or those kinds of things. I want to do those lists.
That one makes me really nervous.
Those are awesome.
I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet, but we'll do this. Our grandiloquent word for today, because it's still here, at least for now. You have to let us know, folks. Chime in. Let me know if you like this. Do it through our Facebook page. Say keep it or kill it, and we'll I'll post a thing on there, and you get to chime in and tell me. Collywobbles, COLLYWOBBLES, collywobbles. Stomach pain or queasiness, intense anxiety or nervousness associated with symptoms. It's a noun. Collywobbles. So if you're not feeling too good, oh man,
I have the collywobbles.
I only got the collywobbles over people voting on the grandiloquent words. So you have to let us know. Keep it, kill it. It's all coming up in the next week or so. We'll have to make that decision. So chime in. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. I was going to say John or Heidi. No, it's both of us. John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
You can go to college without student loans. Do you have a kid in 11th or 12th grade or in college? Let me save you time, energy, and most importantly, your hard-earned money. My name is Matthew Einstone, and I earned my undergraduate degree from the University of Texas and my master's from Prescott College with no loans. And I was an all-around average student. Not only am I a living example, but I have 10 years of proven results, not guesswork. Take my first course for free that walks you through my journey by going to learnwithoutloans.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by firstcupisfree.com. You know who TMZ is?
Yes, it's like a celebrity.
Yeah, 22-year-old Buffalo Bills wide receiver Zay Jones was arrested and charged with felony damage to property after being involved in an altercation with his own brother in Los Angeles. TMZ posted video of the incident. They heard a man off camera saying, "I'm going to fight for Jesus." Then Jones, totally naked at the time, emerged into a hallway, and his brother tries to stop him. An officer says Jones was breaking glass doors and windows when officers arrived at the apartment building. He was arrested and booked with his bail being set at $20,000. They say, we are aware of the incident involving Zay Jones, the Buffalo Bills say. And they go on and say, we are still in the process of gathering more information on the matter. At this point, we have no further comment. So I think that's really sad. Whatever was going on there, I hope they get it all squared away. But it's a bizarre story, and that's why it's today's Weird News. This is your moment of duh. 3 weeks after former NFL... This is the second football player story of the day.
It is.
3 weeks after former NFL offensive lineman Jonathan Martin used Instagram to share a photograph of a gun and some ammo with an ominous message, he had been charged now by the Los Angeles County District Attorney with 4 counts of making a criminal threat and 1 count of possessing a loaded firearm. The photo specifically showed a shotgun on a bed with a bunch of shells all around it, captioned, quote, "When you're a bully victim and a coward, your options are suicide or revenge," end quote.
Whoa.
That is a weird thing to say and a bad idea all around.
Yeah, it's a very bad
Then
idea.
he tagged 2 former Miami Dolphin teammates, and they bullied him during the 2013 season. He also referenced his high school in Los Angeles. They prompted the school then to shut down for the day.
Oh, my gosh.
He has not played since 2014. He was taken into custody soon after making the post. And thank goodness, looks like everybody's okay. I don't know what was going on there, but that is today's Moment of Duh, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
John and Heidi.
More weird news brought to you by First Cup is Free. Another football story. Just kidding. This one's a
I was
basketball.
gonna say-
It's not. It's a basketball story.
Are you kidding?
No. 30-year-old Samuel Goodhope from New Mexico facing charges after authorities say he got angry while watching the NCAA tournament and he attacked his girlfriend. What did she have to do, Mr. Goodhope? The girlfriend was attempting to leave the home after he became furious over the ball game. She tried to leave. He reportedly pushed her to the ground several times. She called 911 from her mother's home and reported him. Deputies say she had a black eye and several scratches on her body. Goodhope was charged with false imprisonment. What a sad story.
That's horrible.
That is terrible. That is weird news, though. They got so worked up over a game. Dude, it's a game. You're supposed to enjoy that.
And,
you don't. I
ma'am,
hope.
if you're listening, run.
Yeah, move on. That's a
Run.
bad idea. And I don't tell people to move on very often, but for me, if they're cheaters or if they're beaters, I've just never seen anybody really change.
That's right. It's time to go.
Just be really careful there, young lady. Bad idea. Good news coming your way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Time now for some good news. I always like to wrap things up around here with good news. It's brought to you by Odiva, which is also good news. If you don't like going to the store to get, your personal hygiene items, ladies, it is the monthly subscription service for Ladies Monthly Visitor. I know what I'm saying. I just always forget what I'm saying. Anyway, Odiva is what it's called. Website is radiosavings.com. Heidi sent me this good news, I believe. Family worries after dog disappears.
Oh, I love this.
Then he returns exhausted, and they find a note on his collar. An old dog that usually spends most of his day sitting at home disappeared for a long time one day. By evening, they were kind of getting worried, but then he came back home totally exhausted. The worried family had no idea where he had wandered off to until they said, wait a minute, there's a note on his collar what is going on here? Louise the sheepdog is in New Zealand. That's where he lives. And he's an adventurer. He's 12 years old, 64, by the way, if you do dog years. And it says, my mother was a little grumpy. She thought that maybe he had stopped his wandering. The dog finally showed up later that night with this note attached to the collar. It says, Luis Day, hero of the day. So I don't know what that, I'm wondering, was that like a different language, you think? Luis D.A., the hero of the day? Maybe that's what it says. He lead me to Maddie in distress, stuck under a branch pile. Cheers, Rob. So what happened is he has a dog by the name of Maddie who had gone missing, and this dog led him to his dog and probably saved that dog's life.
Yeah, and then helped him dig the dog out. He was pulling branches off and helping to unbury this little dog.
That is a really cool story.
To save him, and so that's why the dog had been sitting there with that dog waiting, and then ran back to where the owner lives because he knew where that dog lived, and then brought the owner back with him and made him follow him to where his dog was
It is
stuck.
such a cool story.
How cool is that?
Animals are awesome.
They really are.
And this dog is a hero. 12 years old, 64 in doggy years. I think that's really neat. If you'd like to see the story, I do have a link to it on our Facebook page. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. You can follow us on Facebook if you like. It's facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.